Chris Davis were particularly disappointed with the way we didn't impose ourselves in the first half. But you know what, Matt? There's no need to disasterise this. At the end of the day, it's frustrating. We have lost 2 points at home, but is another point. On another day, we win that game, and you just sometimes just get those games.
Welcome back to BCFC Royal Blue and a frustrating evening at St.Andrews at KnightheadPark as Birmingham City draw with West Bromwich Albion 0-0, and it was a game that sort of lacked real moments of quality, a little bit of flat, lacked rhythm, and Blues didn't really get going until that sort of 75th minute mark. But Dad, we've just got back. We've had our chat in the car, getting this fresh for 7 o'clock in the morning for the fans. What were your thoughts on the game?
Yeah, I think it's worth bearing in mind that we emphasise that. We literally got out of the car and we're straight into the studio, so this is quite a reactive one. Sometimes we have the opportunity, don't we, to look at the highlights. We haven't had the opportunity to do that, but we were there. I think definitely 2 points dropped. I think West Bromwich Albion came for a draw, and they got what they came for. They set up well, they pressed us well, but when you look at the chances we had in that game, Matt, on another day, that's 2-3-0 to us. That is. And it is. You use the word frustrated. I think that's the only word. It's definitely for us. That's 2 points dropped. I think West Bromwich Albion will see it as a point gained for them because it's an away point. They don't get many on the road. But for us, it's definitely 2 points dropped.
Yeah, totally agree with you, Dad. I think we had some really good chances, and I think on another day, you're right. That's 2 or 3-0 Blues, especially when you look at that one off the line.
Yeah,
absolutely epic to clear that off the line, wasn't it? But overall, though, there were some really frustrating themes, wasn't there? First half especially. I mean, we did go into the game. I thought the second half we looked the better team. We looked the team most likely to score. We were creating some chances. But the first half, Dad, real lack of composure, real lack of rhythm.
Yeah.
No team could really get a foothold in the game. Both teams showed a real lack of quality in the final third. I just thought it was a really poor first half of football, to be honest.
It was flat from us. I mean, it's
flat,
really a surprise to see because we've been used to at home being quite intense, and we do actually, sometimes comments that our tempo is too slow, but it was sort of non-existent in the first half. It was. I remember talking about to Henry, who sits next to me in the Tilton, and saying to him, I think that's one of the poorest first halves I've seen for a while from us, where we didn't impose ourselves. And I think what happened was, I think West Bromwich Albion turned up playing like it was a local derby, and I think that really, this is the problem with local derbies, isn't it? It's almost like form goes out the window, and I think they were more at it than us in the first half. And to be fair to West Bromwich Albion, they closed down well. They put their foot in where they needed to, and they were winning the first and second balls, weren't they? In the first half, and so I think we all thought that second half it had to improve, and it did. It did improve in the second half. But why are we letting teams? Why are we allowing teams to play like that, or why aren't we more on the front foot in the first half at home? I don't understand. So I don't know what quite went wrong in the first half, but it weren't our usual selves. Definitely,
we didn't impose ourselves at all, did we? In fact, that I agree with you. I think West Brom wanted that first half a bit more.
Yeah.
They were a bit more aggressive. They were winning the second ball. In fact, I'd say in the first half, arguably again, we got a little bit bullied on our own patch, didn't we? They were more physical than us.
Yeah.
They were winning those challenges, and again, it was just. I think I'm frustrated after the first half, Dad, because we got sucked into the game that West Brom wanted us to play. They came with a game plan. They sat quite deep. They were trying to catch us on the counter, set pieces, all the stuff we spoke about in the pre-video. But we allowed them to play to their strengths, and we didn't impose ourselves. We didn't win those first, second balls. We weren't strong enough. And especially at home, when we've seen that rhythm and that momentum and quite silky football and scoring some good goals, that almost went out the window in the first half, didn't it? And it just felt, I'm not going to blow this out of proportion, because I think, as you said, on the...
It's just a bad day at the office.
On another day, Dad, we win that 2 or 3. It was just a bad day at the office.
That's not disastrous.
No, it wasn't. It was just frustrating.
It was frustrating. One thing that really opened my eyes, Matt, as well, and again, and I've got to hold my hands up here, is that Owata didn't start the game, right? And everybody thought, wow, newsflash, Owata's not in the starting lineup. And we have said in the past that sometimes that he should be dropped, but actually, I think we missed him in that first half. I think we missed his physicality. I think that nothing. I don't think Bright did anything fundamentally wrong, by the way. But sometimes when you have local derbies, you need that grit and determination. You need battlers in that team, and Owata gives you that. And I felt we missed that because I thought we were a better team in the second half. And I'm surprised at that because I've always felt that maybe Owata is not a natural right back, but I thought we was a better team with him in that in the second half, and maybe that's what we were missing. So I'm going to shut up about Awata now every time we speak because it's really put me in my place, because I think that game showed me how important he is to our team.
And I'm going to double down on that, Dad. One, to agree with you and say that Awata's really important, and I'm going to call it as well. I think it showed how important Paik is. When Paik went off injured, we lost that anchor. We lost that ability to stitch play up and transition and counter quickly. I think we lost our man who makes us move going forward. And again, Paik isn't a perfect player. Awata aren't perfect players, but what they do really well. And actually, I think they are integral parts of the cog in the machine, aren't they?
Yeah, and it's only when you take him out you realise, don't you? Because so he came on. But let's talk about the first half few instances. I mean, obviously we had that Kai Wagner whipped the ball to Paik, who this is where he hurt his shoulder, where he headed it towards the goal, and it was going in, and it bounced under the defender Callum Styles' legs, and actually when it came out the other side, it hit his hand. It was a handball. And penalty wasn't given, obviously.
Wouldn't that be a red card as well?
Well, no. Well, I don't know. It's all hypothetical. Anyway,
yeah, sure. I'm just asking a question.
But the point is that they missed a handball. But then there's so many rules now about handballs, about your hands being in unnatural positions, and all this.
Sure.
Everyone's really confused, aren't they? But anyway, it wasn't given. Paik went off injured. And we brought on the Tommy Doyle. Not a bad sub to bring on, Tommy Doyle, is it? Blues players were calling for a penalty because it was a handball, and you could argue as well that the handball stopped the ball going in the goal because Callum Styles was virtually on the goal line. So I don't know, everyone's so confused now about the rules about handball. But ultimately, if you boil that down, he stopped the ball from going in the goal with his hand. Yeah. So how can it not be a penalty?
Again, Dad, we're fresh coming back from the game, but correct me if I'm wrong here, but, it was a handball. I don't remember hearing much protest from the crowd. I don't remember hearing much protest from the players on the pitch. So maybe it was one of those that just almost... They did, fair enough.
A few of the players were saying like handball, but obviously then Paik got injured and everything slowed down. I think Clara had a word with the referee. But it wasn't. I mean, the referee missed quite a few things today, and we'll come on to a few more in a moment as well. I thought
the ball that clearly went out by about half a yard, and for some reason he didn't put his flag up. I'm not, because my seat, Blues fan, is directly in line with the byline. Directly, I see it. Millimetres either side. This was miles out. Anyway, that was a low point.
But to be fair as well, to balance that as well, he did give us a throw. Yeah. There was a West Bromwich Albion, clear West Bromwich Albion throw as well. We had also Asai Samuel was, I thought Roberts had a really quiet game, and I thought that's because if you look at the position of Asai Samuel when we were attacking, he was more on the right than Roberts. Roberts was more in field, and I think that's obviously tactical. But Asai Samuel went through, really good interchange, and he found his way through on the right-hand side and knocked a ball which Max O'Leary, the goalkeeper, tipped over the bar. Yeah, so that was a really good chance in the first half.
Yeah, Dad, can I just pick up on a theme you mentioned there? About Patrick Roberts. I thought Osman was quite quiet as well, and I think the reason is West Brom have clearly done their homework and their research, and they suffocated us on the wings. We didn't have much space. We didn't have much time. Normally, the past couple of games, how fluid have we been on the wings? Osman going through, causing that goal against Leicester. Yeah. I think West Brom did their homework, and they said, we cannot allow Birmingham to breathe on the wings. And in that regard, they actually did a pretty good job of marshalling our wingers. I thought Patrick Roberts was quiet. I thought Osman was quiet. Yeah. Vicente did well when he come on. I thought he played well. Yeah. And I'm jumping the gun, Dad. I just wanted to say that I thought that West Brom actually, if we're going to give them a little bit of a credit here, they suffocated our wing play quite well.
Their game plan would have worked perfectly. I mean, they rode their luck a lot when you look at the chances that we had. They did 100%. Ride their luck, but that's what you need to pick up points. They got the second worst away record in the whole division behind Sheffield Wednesday. They came with a game plan, and it almost felt a little bit, when we were on the attack, a little bit like a League One game last season, where they played two banks of four, and they basically set up shop to completely frustrate and stifle us. And I think that's where we struggled. We were struggling to find that decisive ball through, and give them the credit they deserve because they came and they got a point out of it, didn't they? Which, by the way, I really, on the balance of play, don't think they deserve. But damn right, I think that the score says Birmingham City 0, West Bromwich Albion 0, and a point each. I mean, Albion had, I think, one shot on target in the whole game, which wasn't really anything. Because I can't really think of any, and even now, reflecting back, I can't think of any save that Beadle had to make.
No, nothing at all.
Nothing at all.
No danger at all,
There's no danger. And if I was a West Brom fan, that's what I'd be worried about with them. The fact that you can keep us out and you can be defensively, that ain't going to work every game. No. But you've got to find a way of scoring goals. And they looked really blunt up front, didn't they?
Yeah. They
So,
did.
anyway, the first half sort of, I think we all went in at half time feeling a little bit frustrated.
Flat and deflated and frustrated.
And deflated. And then the second half, and Chris Davis made a few substitutions, didn't he, on the hour? Did he make a substitution at half time as well? I can't remember.
No, West Brom did. We didn't.
Yes, yeah. But on the hour, he brought on Vicente. I'm looking at the first half. He brought on Carlos Vicente and Prisk, didn't he, for Stano? And he brought on Tomoki as well. So Tomoki, Carlos Vicente, and Prisk all came on.
For Soy Samuel, Patrick Roberts, and Stansfield.
It's Stansfield, yeah. I mean, Stano had a quiet game, to be honest. I don't think there was but he did against Leicester, but scored the winner, so we don't mind. And I thought that made a difference because obviously, as I said, I think Iwata gave that bit more of a bit of steel. Again, nothing really that Bright did fundamentally wrong. I just think sometimes it's horses for courses, and in games like that, you need the grit. It's a local derby.
Yeah,
you need the grit. I mean, I do think though we look better, as a team. We look solid as a team with Solis in that midfield. He sort of he lost the ball a couple of times, but most of the time he's knitting the play up and breaking their play down. Then a few chances. Osman squeezed the ball past O'Leary. This is that Charlie Taylor. I mean, what a fantastic defensive save that was, because that is going in all day long. The ball comes across to Osman, and he hit it sweetly.
The speed as well.
Yeah, and he slid in and saved. I mean,
I'm surprised he had the reaction time to do it. Like, it was that powerful. That cleanly hit. Fair play again. You have to, when sometimes you score a goal, Dad, or sorry, the opposition score a goal, you just go a bit like a Fatawu. Okay, good goal. Yeah. You have to just put your hands up and go, what a clearance, don't you? What a great save that was.
When that happened as well, mate, you sort of getting the feeling, because that was sort of like,
it's not our night.
You think to yourself that, this is going to be one of those games. Unfortunately, it turned out to be that way. Dutch as well, he had a great shot, from about 20 odd yards.
Yeah.
Good save by Max, because he saw that late as well, and he saved it and tipped it round to the left. Osman had another chance where Vicente's cross, but again that was volleyed well over the bar. But he was in a good position to actually do that as well. And then we had almost like the chaos at the end, didn't we?
Talk us through it then, Dad, because again, we've just got back. You've had the fortune of watching a few things back. I've seen nothing. So talk us through why that goal got disallowed then.
Well, it's from our point of view, it's very frustrating because, firstly, I will say in the last 15 minutes, I think we were battering them. We were knocking the door, and we had chances. But this was actually in stoppage time. Kai Wagner puts a beautiful corner over, and Prisk, gets on. He actually headers it into the bottom corner. We're all celebrating. Then a flag goes up, and the officials deemed that Damari Gray was interfering with play. And if you look at it, it's a difficult one. He was in the eye line of the goalkeeper, but
where's he supposed to stand then?
But what I'm saying, the goalkeeper was nowhere near the ball.
Right.
So I don't, in terms of the goalkeeper, it was well wide of the goalkeeper.
Can you not stand on the goalkeeper anymore?
I don't. I've got no idea.
That was my job as a left back. I was either taking the corners, Dad, or my football manager used to say, you stand on the keeper and you don't let him move. That was part of the game back then. Yeah. And I see it all the time. You're not allowed to hold the goalkeeper and obstruct him. You can stand in front of him.
Yeah.
And it's the defender's job then to push you off the keeper. Anyway, again, I haven't seen it, so hands up on that one. Because we've just got back from the game.
I believe that's like you say. We have just got back from the game, but I believe that because I've looked at the replay of the goal, and when it goes in, Damari Gray is standing just in front of the goalkeeper, but he's not made any contact with the goalkeeper or made anything physical. Right. This is what I'm really, really frustrated about. And obviously, everyone's celebrating, then the flag goes up, and all the players are complaining. Goal didn't stand. So and we even had chances after that as well. When Damari Gray came on as well, which I was really glad to see. He came on a little bit earlier in the game, and he replaced Osman. He looked really good.
Yeah, he did.
As always, he was really, really pressing as he always does.
Yeah. But coming back to that thing, Dad, because obviously we all watch Premier League football, we all see VAR, and you do see goals getting chalked off with VAR, but it's not because of them in their movement in the box. It's because they physically stop the goalkeeper from getting to the ball.
Yeah.
That it didn't look like that happened.
No, I don't think Damari made contact with the goalkeeper, obstructed the goal. Well, from what I saw on the replay, he was just in front of the goalkeeper, and obviously they've disallowed it because of that, and I personally think it should have stood. But then I'm sure Albion fans will say no, it shouldn't. That's
Yeah,
football,
well,
isn't
exactly.
it?
Yeah, exactly.
But we had a chance after that as well. We kept pressing as well. And I mean, Damari went through and literally pulled right back. I think it was Isaac Price.
Could have
I
been.
may be wrong if it were, because as I say, we've only just got back. But one of the Albion players, I think it was, I just literally pulled him back. Only got a yellow card when he was actually. It was in momentum. He was actually through on goal.
Yeah.
And we had I don't know who was it. We actually had there was a melee in the box, and we hit the post. And then it fell. The rebound came back to Solids, who hit it just into the side netting, and that was pretty much the last kick of the game. So chances, yes, I think Blues will be disappointed. Chris Davis will particularly be disappointed with the way we didn't impose ourselves in the first half. But you know what, Matt? There's no need to disasterise this. At the end of the day, it's frustrating. We have lost 2 points at home, but is another point. On another day, we win that game. And you just sometimes just get those games, and unfortunately for us, it was against the Albion. I would have liked to see a little bit more grit from Birmingham City in the first half, in terms of the fact that it is a local derby. But overall, I can't really fault the players' commitment really too much. Oh, one thing as well, I think Beagle's kicking was awful as well again, wasn't it? But again, he had nothing to do all game, and that's what.
But this is why I was happy when Priska came on, because I felt like we needed another outlet up front. Yeah. They were suffocating us on the wings, they were suffocating the midfield, and every time we tried to create a play, nothing was happening. No balls were going through to Stansfield. The wingers weren't having action. So actually, Priska gave us an outlet, and it did change when he came on. Again, it wasn't a fantastic performance by anyone really, but I thought that we did change a little bit when Priska came on for the better, which is good, and we did impose ourselves a bit. 2 things for me, Dad. Yes, grit, determination, that fight that you want to see in a local derby was really disappointing. And 2, just composure and quality. I don't like seeing players shinning it out, poor passing, not getting the ball on the ground. How many times in the first half, Dad, did we see head tennis?
Yeah,
we've not seen that for years, and that shows the standard and the quality of that first half.
When the ball's played up as well, the amount of times that the ball was like shinned off, or we couldn't hold the ball. That was really frustrating. I do feel sorry for Priska though. He's actually celebrating his first goal for Birmingham City, and the type of goal we want to see him score.
Yeah, exactly.
But he's shown that he can score them. He just needs to. I suppose have a bit of luck from the officials, really.
He'll get his moment.
But overall, Matt, it's a frustrating night. We're going to get these in football, aren't we? I think West Bromwich Albion will be laughing all the way to the bank. I think you got a point at Birmingham City, because when they look back at this and they look at the video I've just watched with the highlights, I think they'll realise that they were quite. I wouldn't say lucky, because that's not fair, because they did put effort in. I thought they closed down very well.
They pressed us
very well. Yeah. In fact, they forced us into a lot of mess. So their press is excellent.
It is, yeah.
But. On another day, we win that game.
Yeah, football. It is, isn't it? It's frustrating, especially as a Birmingham City supporter. It was our chance to get in the playoffs, weren't it? And as typical Blues, Dad, we kind of don't wet the bed. That's a bit of an over-dramatisation, but we don't take that chance. Yeah. And sadly, we move on to the next one, which in the league is Norwich away. We play Leeds in the FA Cup on Sunday, and then we move on to Norwich Carrow Road on the following weekend.
I think Leeds is coming at a good time. It's a bit of a free hit for us, really, isn't it?
I agree.
The FA Cup. Of course, we want to win it and we want to play well, but we let this be away from the pressure of the league. And maybe Chris Davis the opportunity to maybe try a few other players. Possibly, I don't know, but we've done okay. We're still unbeaten in about 7 or 8 games now.
Exactly.
So we just have to take the positives from it really and move on.
We do move on to Leeds in the FA Cup and the next league game against Norwich at Carrow Road, Dad. But as always, Birmingham City supporters, we would love to hear from you. Please let us know your thoughts in the comment section below. West Bromwich Albion supporters, maybe you're at the game, maybe you watched it. We'd love to hear from you as well. Please let us know your thoughts, especially with that controversial ending there with the corner with Blues disallowed goal. And if you liked the video specifically, please don't forget to give us a thumbs up and check us out on our social media channels. We have an X page, we have an Instagram page, and we're also over on Spotify, so you can watch or listen to us over there. And if you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel and press that bell icon so you get notified every time we post. And myself and Dad will see you on the next one, all about Birmingham City.